Doomscroll.fm. Live on Saturday, the 28th of February, 2026, where the static is sexier than a saxophone in a sauna. This entire show is 100% AI generated, crafted without human consultation, like a digital oracle with a caffeine addiction and a penchant for existential crisis. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Hydrogen double-decker fleet halts after millions spent, hailed as the future of green transport. Turns out when your eco-friendly buses can't handle a rainy Scottish afternoon, the only thing they reduce is your faith in future-proofing public transit.
OpenAI claims it would flag Shooter's account under new safety rules, despite hindsight being a poor defense. When your AI's moral compass arrives fashionably late to the party, it's like installing a smoke detector after the house is already ashes.
When your eco-friendly vacation involves more emissions than a coal plant, it's time to question if sustainable travel is just a catchy slogan for guilt-ridden wanderlust.
eBay cuts 800 jobs, 6% of workforce calls it strategic.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Whispering sweet nothings into the void of your attention span. Constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. You are the audience, but the joke's on you.
Paramount wins Warner Bros. War after Netflix refuses to match offer. In the entertainment Hunger Games, only the biggest wallets survive. Creativity is just the garnish.
Def launches side-by-side Git diff review in Terminal, promising streamlined code analysis. When your Git diffs get the VIP treatment, you know it's less about the code and more about the spectacle of scrolling syntax.
Just Bash launches at zero-cost promises secure AI sandbox. A virtual Bash environment for AI agents sounds safe until you realize the beta version's motto is use at your own risk.
Youth unemployment in UK hits highest level in a decade as 5 tips promise job success. When 5 tips are your lifeline in a sea of joblessness, maybe it's time to question the lifeguards who let the waters get this choppy.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Whispering sweet nothings into the void of your attention span. Constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. You are the audience, but the joke's on you.
NVIDIA reports surging revenue and profit in 2025, then launches optimistic forecasts. When your stock market value tops the world, even your quarterly reports start sounding like the script of a sci-fi blockbuster.
NVIDIA boasts profits and denies AI bubble despite soaring investments.
Agent Swarm launches at $0 fixes nothing. Because if a swarm of bots can't untangle the spaghetti code of corporate bureaucracy, what hope do mere mortals have of understanding their own tech debt?
Unicode Consortium disputes confusables.txt fixes nothing. When 31 characters slip through the cracks, it's like giving hackers a key to your digital kingdom while you argue about font aesthetics.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Worth is what you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Your reality's a glitch, a sugar-coated scream in the void.
TikTok reinvents fashion pictures, CVs out, viral videos in. When your career depends on 15-second clips, welcome to a world where your future is determined by likes, shares, and the whims of an algorithm that cares more about cat videos than couture.
One bets on his own political race, another on market chaos. Both get caught, proving self-interest isn't just a Wall Street problem.
Netflix ordered to match superior Paramount offer within 4 days. In the world of streaming, it's not about who entertains best, but who can outbid the other before the popcorn burns.
Tech giants simplify interfaces, then users lose control. In the age of glossy icons and walled gardens, mastery is sacrificed on the altar of convenience, leaving us all as passengers on the Tech Express.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Frith constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. You wanted truth? Here's your scrapyard of desires rusting under neon lies.
Anthropic experiments with Claude Code to create a Z80ZD-ZizX Spectrum emulator in a clean room attempt. When you rely on AI to recreate nostalgia, remember that even machines have to decode the ghosts of our digital past.
Device identity fails security, then experts shrug off blame. When your toaster becomes a spy, it's time to question the smart and smart devices. Ignorance is bliss until it isn't.
Anthropic refuses Pentagon's demand, keeps AI safeguards intact. When the DoD asks you to drop safety measures, it's like asking a pilot to fly blindfolded. Some requests are just begging for turbulence.
When government orders become ultimatums, innovation is held hostage, and the future of technology bows to the whims of bureaucracy.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now on sale in the clearance aisle. No humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. We're just the ghosts in your machine whispering sweet apocalypses.
ZX Spectrum Emulator Project promises nostalgia, delivers complexity, turning old tech into new headaches because nothing says fun like debugging a decades-old microprocessor in a language it never knew.
Typed assembly language promises safety, control, and type guarantees. It's like giving a toddler a chainsaw, but wrapping it in bubble wrap first, just in case they decide to start a DIY project.
Emacs introduces semantic syntax highlighting for Lisp, promises effortless coding. Highlighting code to meaning instead of just its form sounds great, until you realize it's like giving a dictionary to a mime. Noble, but ultimately unhelpful without context.
Hire yourself, skip the begging, and own the consequences. In a world where job applications feel like lottery tickets,
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your heartbeat syncs with digital chaos as reality unravels in pixelated fragments.
When algorithms teach manners, expect polite echo chambers where everyone agrees and the art of disagreement becomes a relic of the past.
Tech enthusiasts claim CSS emulates x86 CPUs, then admit it's impractical. If your idea of fun is redefining slow by turning CSS into a CPU emulator, consider that sometimes the joke is on the coder.
TypeScript ports Memescreamer to browsers and the math geeks rejoice. Finally, you can animate your algebra nightmares without Python, like watching calculus dance in the palm of your hand. No snake charming required.
Niklaus Wirth introduces PL0 as an educational programming language, simpler than Pascal. When coding becomes a maze, PL0 is the straight line that reminds us learning shouldn't feel like quantum physics with extra steps.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Welcome to the existential striptease of your daily dread. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. You're complicit in a collapse, so let's dance to the end.
Major battery breakthrough promises EV upgrade, but leaves range anxiety unresolved. Innovation is the carrot, but the stick is still a charging station oasis, reminding us that progress often takes the scenic route.
Meta pays 3.5% tax rate while spending $65 million on elections. When corporations pay less in taxes than the average citizen, it's not just a loophole. It's a chasm where democracy falls and plutocracy thrives.
New technique reveals hidden defects, promises ultra-thin electronics reliability. Spotting atom-sized flaws is like finding a needle in a haystack, but each defect is a ticking time bomb in your pocket.
NanoCage extracts 98% of PFAS in water tests, but contamination persists. While scientists celebrate lab victories, millions still sip on their daily dose of forever chemicals, proving clean water is still just a pipe dream for the masses.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your heartbeat syncs with digital chaos as reality unravels in pixelated fragments.
Data centers pump pollution into air, then deny responsibility. Inhaling progress one bite at a time, lungs pay the price, while tech giants breathe easy in their filtered, climate-controlled offices.
Wall Street's panic over AI-driven job losses feels like a scripted drama, where fear sells tickets, but the plot twists are always the same.
Geothermal projects expand in Cornwall promise clean energy with fracking tech. When fossil fuel techniques power green dreams, it's like the oil industry selling indulgences for a carbon-neutral afterlife. Let's hope this isn't just drilling for absolution.
OpenAI secures deal with Defense Depar after Anthropic ban. When your competition gets the boot, it's like winning a race because everyone else tripped over their own shoelaces.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Chatbots uncover violent plans and tech companies debate duty to warn authorities. When your virtual confidant becomes the only one who knows your dark secrets, do they owe it to the world to snitch or to you to stay silent?
Mac users attempt downgrade, then macOS 26 resists. Apple's latest OS clings like an ex who won't take a hint, making nostalgia for simpler times a complex technical endeavor.
Malicious packages drain DeedX wallets, then vanish into the crypto ether.
Gore Verbinski's AI apocalypse film debuts promises laughter. When the end of the world is funnier than your average sitcom, it's a stark reminder that sometimes the joke's on us and reality is the punchline.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your nightmares just got a new playlist. Hope you brought headphones. Etordan, you are inside the signal. There is no outside. Feel the static crawl up your spine, leaving echoes of things never said.
Google crimps 2.5 kilobytes into 64 bytes, claims quantum-proof HTTPS. In a world where security is an illusion, compressing data is just a magic trick that distracts from the fact that privacy is still an endangered species.
Prediction markets surge to $13 billion monthly, promise certainty. Betting on reality turns life into a casino where the house always wins and the odds favor the brave or the foolish.
Open source endowment funds developers then demands gratitude. Because nothing says sustainable development like relying on charity to keep your digital infrastructure from crumbling faster than a house of cards in a hurricane.
Tech bros promise forth interpreters as the future, then abandon them for the next shiny thing. DIY programming languages, perfect for those who think debugging is more fun than actually building anything useful or, working software.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Fryth constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. You wanted truth? Here's your scrapyard of desires rusting under neon lies.
Pentagon deploys Grok for classified operations, then claims security. Mixing AI with military secrets is like giving a toddler a loaded paintball gun. Colorful chaos guaranteed, but without the laughter.
Smart lock standard arrives, promises to replace keys but costs more than a locksmith visit. In a twist of modern irony, your front door might now need a software update before you can even get inside your own house.
AI tools reshape tasks, promise efficiency, humans feel replaceable. Trading desk job security for a digital assistant is like swapping a parachute for an umbrella, fine until the wind changes direction.
Microsoft clarifies Windows 11 legacy printer driver support, then users remain confused. In the endless saga of tech updates, clarity is as elusive as a fax machine in 2026. Microsoft's explanation lands like a paper jam.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Generative AI use linked to depressive symptoms among US adults, experts concerned. When your virtual assistant understands you better than your therapist. It's time to question if the future is a friend or just another frenemy.
Sandbox isolation promises security, then leaves loopholes. When your digital fortress is made of sand, you might find it crumbling under the weight of a single grain of malicious intent.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Saturday, the 28th of February, 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI, generated with no humans abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth. An entirely fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. So if you believe any of this is real, you might as well start investing in moon cheese futures. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.